Viewers, good evening. This is India Upfront, and you would remember 16th of March, Rahul Gandhi at a press conference had said, light-heartedly perhaps, that unfortunately I'm a member of parliament. Quote unquote, Rahul's word. Today, as we speak, Rahul Gandhi ceases to be a member of parliament because he has been disqualified, and this is the biggest disqualification that India has seen since Indira Gandhi was convicted by the Allahabad High Court in 1975. She was suspended for 6 years from holding office, which prompted her to declare emergency. Today, her grandson Rahul Gandhi too has been disqualified by the Lok Sabha Speaker after his conviction and the 2-year jail term for defamation by the Surat Court. After conviction has come this disqualification, and why has Rahul Gandhi been disqualified? Because the Supreme Court verdict had said that any MP, MLA, MLC who is convicted and given 2 years imprisonment loses membership of the House with immediate effect. It is precisely this law that is haunting Rahul Gandhi. Now what? What does this disqualification mean for Rahul's political career? If this isn't overturned, Rahul will not be able to contest elections for 8 years. 2 years running with a sentence and then 6 years under the Representations of People Act. This rules out Rahul contesting the 2024 polls. Obviously, forget Prime Ministership till the age of 60. If India does not have midterm polls, the next general election he can fight is 2034. He will be 64 years old by then. Shortly after the disqualification advisory the notice was issued, or the circular was issued, a political blame game erupted. The Congress says that this is proof of dictatorship, Tanashahi, that the Modi government is autocratic. Sample the reactions.
It is a political issue because it signifies the systematic, repetitive emasculation of democratic institutions. It signifies the strangulation of democracy itself. Shri Rahul Gandhi has been speaking out fearlessly inside and outside Parliament. Clearly, he is paying a price for it.
सही तो मोदी ये ओबीसी नहीं है, बीजेपी उसका झूठ मूठ का प्रोपेगेंडा कर रही है। ओबीसी का वोट लेने के लिए ये कोशिश कर रहे हैं। अब लेकिन ओबीसी को भी पता चल गया है कि मोदी ओबीसी के नहीं है। अब ओबीसी कभी बीजेपी को वोट नहीं करेगा।
Rahul Gandhi is a secular person, always for the masses, always for the weaker section of the society, always for the downtrodden. So these type of allegations is a malicious campaign to unnecessarily create some wrong impression about him in public.
कानून 1951 के तहत किसी भी सदस्य को अगर सजा होती है तब उसकी सदस्यता चली जाती है। ये भारत में पहली बार नहीं हुई है। सदस्य और देश की वरिष्ठ लॉयर कपिल सिब्बल जी ने कल ही कहा था, जजमेंट के साथ साथ सदस्यता जाना तय है। ये बहाना दिखाया जाता कि 30 दिन की समय था, ऐसा नहीं था।
The decision falls under the provisions of Article 1021E of the Constitution of India, read with the Section 8 of the Representatives of the People Act 1951. स्पष्ट है कि 2 साल की सजा थी, संसद की सीट सांसद के रूप में छुट्टी होनी थी। ये जो लगता है कि डायनेस्टी का होने तो मैं उससे ऊपर हूं, सबसे ऊपर हूं, यानी कि आप पार्लियामेंट के कानून नियम से भी ऊपर हो गए। आप सुप्रीम कोर्ट के आदेश के बाद भी आप कुछ भी करेंगे और आपको पूछने वाला कोई नहीं होगा।
This just gives you a sense of the political war of words which is on. Let's quickly open this up, and before I open this up for a debate, Dr. Subramanian Swamy is back on India Upfront. We spoke to him last evening. Sir, good evening. Thank you for your time. Dr. Swamy, you would remember the first question I asked you, and you said that he can lose his membership. That has happened today.
Well, it is inevitable, because if it's in fact been held in a number of judgments that if the punishment is for 2 years or more, then his member of parliamentship will also cease. And in the case of defamation cases, two years is the maximum. So the judge obviously was very cognizant of that, and he gave him the maximum punishment that is possible under the law. So now he has to go in appeal, and the appeal has to suspend the judgment, you see. That is a tall order. I don't think that he'll get much relief from going against it in higher courts.
Dr. Swamy, now the BJP today came out, and it's interesting. They said, look, they rushed to the Supreme Court for Pawan Kheda. Why couldn't they go to court for Rahul Gandhi? This is an insider's job.
Well, those are all conjectures. I have no information on that. I would say that if they go straight to Supreme Court will probably, under the circumstances, and my judgment is, it is a pure judgment, they will say first go to the High Court and then come to us. So that would be very embarrassing then. So I think it's better and safer for them, from their point of view, to go to the High Court first.
Now, Dr. Swamy, let's go over the reactions of the Congress leaders. You heard Dr. Abhishek Manu Singhvi. He said this is emasculation of democratic institutions, strangulation of democracy.
These are all allegations against the court. I mean, it's actually the contempt of court. But in their anger, they are saying it, nobody's taking it seriously.
Mr. Chidambaram has come out. He says that this order is in haste. The disqualification is also in haste. What would you tell him?
Well, he has already spent 106 days in jail in my case, the Aircel Maxis case, and he is likely to be convicted in that. So I'm sure that he has empathy for Mr. Rahul Gandhi.
Okay, Dr. Swamy, now as far as the legal options are concerned, what are the options? If you were to give legal advice to Rahul Gandhi,
yes,
what are we looking at?
That's not fair, but still, since you have put it, I will answer it. I would say that he has to go to the High Court. In my opinion, there's no way he can go straight to the Supreme Court. So if he goes to the High Court, it will be a single judge. And then the single judge has to actually set aside the punishment. And that would be a difficult thing. There won't be a stay. If there's no stay, then it's going to take longer than 30 days. So he'll have to have his lawyers argue the matter while he's in jail.
Right. Now, Rahul Gandhi himself has responded, Dr. Swamy. He's put out a tweet. He says, I'm ready to pay any price for the country. That's his response. Your take on that?
See, the question is, these are all cinema-style dialogue, and I don't think much of it. You must remember that there's a law of karma. Mrs. Indira Gandhi did the same to me in 1975 to 77. And then as soon as she came, she lost her parliament seat. I was, by the way, my parliament seat was taken away in 1976. And then, of course, 77, we all came to power, and I came back in Lok Sabha. But then Mrs. Indira Gandhi, we moved a petition and removed her from the membership. And they must understand these things are all snowballs. So Mr. Rahul Gandhi should learn to behave as a Democrat, and he should speak in a language which is civilized. What he said about the Modis, it's horrible. I mean, I would never say something like that, you see. I mean, how can you lump 3 or 4 criminals with the whole community? I know Pilu Modi was one of the most honest politicians we have had in our history. He had a name even Modi. Now, how
Dr.
does the
Swamy,
family
why are we
of
so
Modi
surprised
think?
with this kind of
He's not
commentary
here
from
to-
Rahul Gandhi, the shoot and scoot politics? Because he's made these comments and has had, those comments have left him red-faced in the past. So this is not the first time.
Yeah. Well, therefore he is not fit to hold any high office. And I think it would be better for him to say that I will not hold office, because the whole fear is that if he comes, we don't know whether he'll be in a stable mind.
Okay, now, Dr. Swamy, it's not just the Congress leaders who've come out in support of Rahul Gandhi. You know, many like Arvind Kejriwal, for instance,
Yes.
has said that, look,
Yes.
this is not good for democracy.
Yes.
And now, if you remember, Dr. Swamy, and I'm sure you would, in 2013, Arvind Kejriwal said convicted MPs must be immediately disqualified.
Yes.
He had even met President requesting him not to sign the ordinance.
I know.
And today he's saying this.
Oh yes, he was that time on. Yeah. Well, I think now it's become self-interest, so he's saying it. I think there's all these remarks actually reflect on the judiciary. And I think, these politicians should refrain from saying things that a judgment is not to your liking. Encourage Rahul Gandhi to go and appeal and clear himself. Instead of that, it's a horrible judgment, this is this and that, it has been bought, it has been orchestrated by Narendra Modi. These are bad for the country.
And to call it Tanashahi, I mean, it does not stop at just name calling. Now, many have said that this is autocratic government, Tanashahi, dictatorship. What would you tell them as far as the law is concerned? Because you said it even last evening that the disqualification is automatic.
Yes. Yes, disqualification is automatic, and that's the law. And the law was actually was fine-tuned by the Supreme Court in a judgment. So I would say that I tell all my colleagues, you say I'll go to court and prove myself innocent. That's the only thing you should say, and not doubt the judge, whoever it is. And say that this is a biased thing, it has been obtained by the Prime Minister, he has given money. All these things, you see, actually vitiate the atmosphere and weaken our democracy, because faith is a very important part of democracy.
And faith in democratic institutions, parliament, judiciary.
That's right.
Thank you, thank you, Dr. Swamy,
Absolutely.
for your time once
and
again
I think
for
our
putting
system
this.
is still working. Yeah.
Absolutely. Well said, sir. Thank you for your time, Dr. Swamy. Thanks for joining us on India Upfront. Let's open